even though your drinking didn't stop, do you think that your career was elongated or was lengthened by the fact that Sir Alex did let you go? Like, was that a good thing for you career-wise, ultimately?
Very, very, very. Because if I'd have been in his position, I would let me go probably even sooner. But the fact that he let me go to Graham Taylor, who was one of those managers who would put his arm around you and try and really was interested in the player more than the actual, you know, what can the player do for you, you know. So and then I wanted to prove something to Manchester United as well. So I had that driven thing that I'd probably got from being brought up the way I was brought up, that I had this mental toughness that I didn't realise I had as well. You know, I'm scared of people, I don't like talking in public and all that, but if you put me on a football pitch and tell me to do something, then I'll do it, and I'll probably do it properly and probably do it well as well. So when Manchester United used to come to play us at Aston Villa and stuff like that, they were great games for me. I loved trying to put one over on Sir Alex, and for the first 5 years we used to walk past each other in the tunnel, and we used to both I'd look that way and he'd look that way, and it was stupid, like, but we were like two kids. I never said one word to him for 5 years until
but you were a kid, like he was a grown up, right?
Yeah, yeah, he was, and to be honest, yeah, that's true as well. But
and I suppose the reason I interrupt there is, like, do you forgive him more than you need to? And forgiveness is a great thing, and it's part of moving on and all the rest, but do you forgive him more for you than you forgive him for him? In other words, is part of the reason that you completely let go, is it because you know that that's ultimately the right thing to do for Paul McGrath?
oh yeah, it's the right thing to do for me, because after the 5 years, it was him that actually held out the olive branch, if you know what I mean, because we'd beaten them in a cup final, and that was I think that was to get them, I think it was 94, yeah, 93, 94, and that was to get them a treble of some sorts, of winning 3 of the cups, and this was just I think it was the League Cup or something. But to go out there and actually beat them.
And I think you got man of the match as well.
Oh, I don't know about that, because I was feeling terrible before the game. I wasn't even going to play.
Yeah. I think you still got man of the match.
I was, well, but he came over to me, and this was the first time he shook my hand, and he gave me, it was a little bit of a hard belt in the stomach as well. Just,
friendly punch.
But he actually just did say, you know, well done, well done. And from that day to this, then we'd been talking, and I'd actually been doing a little bit of work down in Manchester United and stuff like that. So it's been great. Don't know why it took Fergie 5 years to hit me a dig in the stomach and say well done, but I thought it was really big of him to do that, and my grandfather, because my grandfather, it was old school, you know. He didn't want a black person around the house, really. Just back in those days, it was shame, you know, and so even to have my sister Okuna in the house was, you know, he would have felt that was shame, because that's what it was like back then, I think. Yeah. And most of us were looking at each other going, is this fella mad? And that was truly what we thought, because it was one of the worst training sessions I'd ever done with anyone.